Test 1 2, test 1 2. Good afternoon, everybody. Another afternoon of the Premiership race beckons. In Bosley Park, it's round 27 of the NPL New South Wales men's. A feast of football in Sydney South today, but the Derby d'Italia takes centre stage at the Palace. The Marconi Stallions hosting APIA Leichhardt.
your Marconi Stallions FC. Thank you, and APIA Leichhardt and NSW. The starting lineup for the Marconi Stallions is at number 1, James Hilton. Number 2, Tyrone Burney. Number 6, Dom Costanzo. Number 7, Franco Meyer. Number 8, James Bayless. Number 10, the captain, Marco Yesic. Number 12, Julian Monge. Number 13, Tas Mordukutas. Number 17, Zogian Seganis. Number 18, George Daniel. Number 23, Brandon Villa on the bench this afternoon. Number 9, Carl Cementi. Number 14, Jake Drew. Number 16, Liam Yulee. Number 20, Patrick Williams. Number 24, Mate Busek. Number 35, Sebastian Kisik. Now for the away team this afternoon, APIA Leichhardt at number 2, Saya Kamiyashi. Number 5, Dred Kelly. Number 6, Patrick Flockman. Number 7, Jack Stewart. Number 11, Rory Jordan. Number 16, the captain, Sean Simons. Number 19, Fabian Monge. Number 29, Maxim Kasarovic. Number 30, Alex Dedming. Number 80, Olivia Koch. Number 99, Franco Farinella. Number 9, Presley Ortiz. Number 18, Adrian Uccino. Number 22, Eddie Caspers. Number 26, Cameron Fong. Number 41, Nicholas Azzone. Number 50, Alexander Parks. Marconi Stallions FC acknowledges and appreciates the support of its 2025 sponsors. Ryan's lawyers need expert legal advice. That's what they do. Stratford Refrigeration, Alert Constructions, Peter Warren Ford, Legia, and Hardcar Football. The Football New South Wales Men's National Premier League competition is proudly sponsored by MINA, official match ball of New South Wales NPL. Attendees are reminded they are bound by the Football Australia Spectator Code of Behaviour together with the terms of admission of this venue. Any breaches may result in disciplinary action and sanctions. The 2025 Marconi Stallions home jersey and merchandise is now available for purchase at the ticket gate. And a limited quantity of our 2024 merchandise is still available at discounted prices from Club Marconi Reception. Dolcetini Patisserie is the result of humble and authentic beginnings. No shortcuts, no premixes, no preservatives, nothing artificial. With location in Jewel and another location opening soon in Gregory Hills, all in attendance today will receive a free cannoli voucher with any coffee purchase at either of their stores. We also like to welcome Carroll Automotive. Check out the cars on their hill. Alpha Romeo Juniors, all new hybrid and electric. Stallions fans, while you're here at the Palace for today's big clash between Marconi and APIA, don't forget to scan the QR codes located around the stadium. By scanning, you go in the draw to win a 3-night Royal Caribbean cruise to Eden, valued at up to $2,652. Don't miss the vote. Scan now and good luck. T&Cs apply. Ladies and gentlemen, today's picture marks a remarkable milestone for our men's first grade head coach, Peter Seganis, achieving 250 games at the helm. Peter came to the club in 2017 and had an immediate impact. Ladies and gentlemen, today's feature marks a remarkable milestone for our men's first grade head coach, Peter Sakenis, achieving 250 games at the helm. Peter came to the club in 2017 and had immediate impact. In his first year with the club in the Premier League 2 first grade, completed the treble, finishing premiers, winning the grand final to be league champions, and secured the club championship to gain promotion to Premier League 1. In 2019, Peter led the team to win the prestigious Waratah Cup and to the round of 16 in the FFA Cup. Since 2022, following several COVID-affected years, the team has continuously finished in the top 3 of the men's NPL competition, participating in final series with 2024 being topped off with a great grand final victory. Finishing as champions and Peter being voted as Coach of the Year by his peers. Congratulations on your 250th game, Peter! Welcoming out the away sides at APIA Leichhardt FC and the home team of Marconi Stallions for the W.
Of the NPL New South Wales men's. A feast of football in Sydney Southwest with the Derby d'Italia takes centre stage at the Palace. The Marconi Stallions hosting APIA Leichhardt. Peculiarities of the Cup and League draws mean these two have met 4 times at Landmark Park since APIA's last visit here. They came as reigning premiers in round 5 last season. Ran out winners thanks to a 91st minute Jordan Secreto winner. A repeat here today, and they'll take a step towards winning back that premiership crown. But Marconi are well rested after last weekend's washouts and searching for victory after back-to-back defeats for the first time this season. Anything less than victory here will make dreams of a premiership fade slightly further. Not that the Stallions need extra motivation today, but in Peter Sakenis' 250th game in charge of the club, they've got some. Let's see how last year's champions line up for this big occasion, the derby and the celebration of Sakenis' tenure, which has brought a Waratah Cup and a championship trophy to the club. 3 changes from the team, beaten 5-0 by Spirit here 2 weeks ago. In comes Brandon Vella to the heart of defence alongside Tasmurda Kudis. George Daniel returns from suspension at left back with Tyrone Burney at right full back and James Hilton in goal. Midfield 4, Franco Meyer moving forward and taking the place of Jake True. Julian Monge takes Liam Yuli's spot in midfield alongside James Bayliss and Dom Costanzo. Marco Jesic and and Damien Sikenis, I should say, are the starting front two. For APIA Leichhardt, Franco Parisi continues his rotation policy with games piling up thick and fast. A trip down to Avondale beckons on Wednesday night in the Australia Cup. They have made 4 changes from the team that beat Manly United by 1-0 last weekend. Oliver Kalat starts in goal. Saya Kambiashi expected to go back to right fullback with Sean Simmons on the left after Joel Bertolissio moved to the Newcastle Jets during the week and Michael Kuda was named unavailable. Drayden Kelly and Patrick Flopman, the centre halves. A midfield 3 of Maxim Kasalovic, Fabian Monge and Franco Farinella, with Jack Stewart on the right wing and Rory Jordan on the left. Alex Denmead takes Presley Ortiz's spot up front. So all now in readiness. The rain has been falling basically all weekend across New South Wales. It has just given us a break here, right in time for kickoff. The pitch has held up well. Had a quick walk across it earlier today. A little bit heavier than usual at Marconi, but this ground is one of the best grass pitches in the competition, and it's living up to its reputation even through the weather. So second versus third, Spirits game against St George FC washed out today. So that means that APIA, with a big result here, could move back to the top of the championship. But 90 minutes against a motivated, a desperate opponent somewhat as well here. Let's see what the next 90 minutes have in store. Stephen Lucas gets us underway. APIA in there. Marron Azzurri kit of maroon and blue. Marconi in the home sky blue strip. Made the change back this season from the green, white and red. Started the season without losing a game in it for really the entirety of the first half of the season. Record has gone out the window somewhat. Starting on the back foot here as well as Sean Simmons makes his way forward. Rory Jordan is enjoying a run of starts at the moment. Getting to the byline, Bernie got across to block, and it's an early corner for the visitors. Marconi have had their number in league football over the past couple of outings. APIA's last victory over their old rivals came here in that game we mentioned in the pre-game back in round 5 2024, but they've swept the last 2 ties in cup football, knocking Marconi out of both this year's and last year's edition of the Australia Cup. Looking to pile on more pain here early as Kambiashi swings it in, and the referee has spotted a foul. I think Drayden Kelly might have been the guilty party. Throwing his large frame towards the football. Hilton under plenty of pressure. Some swerve on that corner kick from Saya Kambiashi. Has returned to right fullback. The departure of Joel Bertolissio to the Newcastle Jets during the week has left Franco Parisi a little short on numbers down that side of the pitch. Cameron Fong is available on the bench again today. It's a very attacking lineup because of Kambiashi's inclusion at the back. Presley Ortiz given a bit of a rest today as well. The run of fixtures for APIA's top goal scorer. Alex Denmead, who's got such a fine return off the bench. Become a super sub of sorts for APIA Leichhardt over the past 3 seasons. It's going to provide a bit of a handful for Brandon Vella, and Tasmurda Kudis brought together again today after re-injury to Lachlan Griffiths a couple of weeks ago. Was to shoot him back in because of the injuries to Anton Mlinaric and Cam Windust. Boasted probably the best depth in the composition in that position at the start of the season, Marconi. Lost all three of them for long periods of the year. Mlinaric won't return again this season, so had to go into the transfer market and get a hold of Tasmurda Kudis, who had a very good start to life here, but probably his worst performance so far in a Marconi shirt, be it off the back of a very high standard against Spirit last time out. So he'll be looking to recover that good form. Crowd that has built slowly as the afternoon's gone on. Weather wasn't looking too pretty earlier today, but now starting to filter in to Marconi Stadium. Plenty still under the cover of the stand on the far side. Threat of rain hanging around, but those dark clouds seem to have moved further west for us. Again, both sides are desperate to win. So we had a title eliminator a few weeks ago between Rockdale and Spirit. That has proven the case. Rockdale falling right out of the race. You feel today might have similar implications for the loser. Just 3 games of league football remaining after this one. Four though for Marconi, carrying a game in hand, sitting 6 points behind league leaders Spirit. Both will be in action in league football during the week, with Spirit's washout at Barton Park today. It's George Daniel. He's looking for the long ball towards Damien Sekenis. Kalatz reading it all the way. 2 sons of NSL legends. Oliver Kalatz, coached by Father Zelko last season at Sydney United. Damien Sekenis, equal top scorer under Father Peter this year for the Stallions. Here's Dom Costanzo. Another one of those. His Father Angelo was NSL player for Marconi back in the day before moving down to Adelaide United for the start of the A-League. Yes, it's trying to measure that one towards Maya, just out of the reach of the Uruguayan. Sekenis happy to be able to move him back higher up the pitch today, with George Daniel missing his first game all year against Spirits. Wasn't a timely absence, picking up a 5th yellow card the week beforehand. Been one of the first names on the team sheet, the former Central Coast Mariners Academy man. It's Kambiyashi. To say it hasn't been a game that's really built with particular intensity, given the importance of it and the rivalry between the two, which is a friendly one, and their shared Italian heritage. Interested to see how fitness comes into the game late on. APIA have had this build-up of fixtures, victims of their own success somewhat. Trip down to Avondale in a couple of weeks' time. Famous night as they completed a 3rd victory at Australia Cup level against A-League opposition. It was a weak in Melbourne City side, but that didn't dampen the performance that Franco Parisi's side put together that evening. The look ahead to Australian Championship action across October and November as well, with them facing Avondale this week down in Melbourne. Stallions fortunate enough to stay home for their Wednesday night fixture in the league against the Central Coast Mariners, that make up from the game that was washed out last weekend. It's Costanzo with the headband on today. Just looking the back heel towards Julian Monge, who's won the midfield roll off Liam Yulee today. Marconi Jr. So the two Monges come together, playing against each other today. With the centre of the park, be going head to head on a few occasions. Nice touch from Maxim Kisalovic. He's making just his third start of the season for Franco Parisi today. Just allowed Fabian Monge to play a little higher, up alongside Franco Farinella. It's the two number 8s. What a breakout season Farinella has had. Knew of the talent, but a year away in the Bulls A-League Academy. He's returned home here. Very much the finished article. That looks as though he's going to be seeing a lot of NPL football over what should be a long and illustrious career. Turned 21 a couple of weeks ago. Nice touch from Julian Monge. Get away from Farinella. It's a Kenneth dropping deep. Kelly's going to be the headache he's going to have all afternoon. Such a terrific athlete, the Canadian. Kambiashi for Rory Jordan. Well-timed challenge from Franco Maya. Patrick Flotman making his second start in APIA colours after signing from Brunei's first-tier competition. Only played a couple of games in his time away there because of an ACL injury, but certainly not a competition, at least in doing research for this game, I could find any other Australians having played in. Was a highly touted junior with Sydney FC. Looked very neat and tidy, part of the clean sheet against Manly United last weekend. Playing the ball forward here for Jordan. Dispossessed by Maya, who almost half thought about trying to catch Karlats off his line. Can't do that now. Didn't quite sum up his options as he might have. Couldn't find Jesic. Sean Simmons' touch takes the ball out of play. In the starting side today as well, Sean Simmons, in the absence of Michael Kuda. Apia's depth is the envy of so many clubs up and down the NPL New South Wales men's. It means that they've been able to play out this glut of games without too much trouble in terms of injury. And when they have had players needing to take breaks, they've been able to fill slots fairly comfortably. Being able to bring Sean Simmons in as your second choice left fullback is quite a luxury. And the gold medal as the best player in the competition back in 2017. That was his first year at the club with brother Josh. He's now departed take part in League One with the Bonnyrigg White Eagles, who are struggling to keep their spot in that competition. Had quite the plight over the past couple of seasons. Marconi know about the difficulties of League One all too well. Talking about Peter Sekenis' 250th game in charge. His first was down in that competition. What a ride it's been. Chapter somewhat completed last year. The grand final victory over Rockdale Illingdon. They were dominant victors that night, really. 3-0. Damien Sekenis is trying to get his first taste of silverware and Marconi colours. Deciding to fill the boots of James Temulkovsky. He's done a fine job of that. Here's Maya. It's attack which has dropped out of its rhythm somewhat over the past few weeks, but it's looking to find its feet again here as Costanzo bends it towards Kalatz's net, just over the crossbar. First shot in anger for the hosts of the afternoon. It's taken just over 10 minutes. APIA started the quicker. Marconi starting to get their foot on the ball a little more. Play with a little bit more control of the game. Nice touch from Sean Simmons. Jordan was onside. It was a well-worked goal kick. It's not something us commentators say too often. Certainly a clever-looking plan. It was just a yard or two away from being executed. The best throw-in from Tyrone Burney. Monge nearly bailed him out. Now it's come to Drayden Kelly. Kambiachi. Interesting to see how this game unfolds as Murdakunis just stumbles on it, and Monge could try and play it square. He couldn't find his way past Vela, who bailed his centre-half partner back out there. Just another little error from Tas Murdakunis, and then the free kick's gone Marconi's way. Sean Simmons went to ground, but got the decision made against him. Sekenis hits the turf again, and now it's all flaring up a little bit right in front of Peter Sekenis. Sean Simmons with a couple of fouls in less than 30 seconds, and so receiving a stern talking to from referee Lucas. Wasn't the tidiest of challenges, and Peter Sekenis is making that point to the referee and his fourth official. On the far touchline, Alex Zastanikovic. Maya with that gorgeous left boot, looking to switch flanks towards Costanzo directly from that free kick. Quite able to reel it in. Farinello with space to turn for the first time this afternoon. He turned it over to Maya, and the free kick's gone APIA's way this time. Just making sure things don't get out of hand early. A game that was really finding its tempo. It's found it in droves over the last 5 minutes as Jesic goes over the top of the ball, and I think the Marconi skipper is going to be very close to the first to be booked. Sean Simmons is making that point. It's all just heated up, really, out of that little flashpoint between Simmons and Sekenis. Marconi have stuck in a few feet in return. It's just all getting a little bit niggly and nasty. Game with plenty of meaning, both in its history and the competitive position of both these teams in regards to the Premiership. So perhaps we shouldn't be surprised we're getting some feeling. Kambiashi goes short. Jordan. Costanzo lost his footing. Whether he lost it or was trying to nick the ball off Rory Jordan, not too sure. Ball's ended up with Fabian Monge. Now Simmons. Speaking of beautiful left feet, I talked about Franco Myers. Sean Simmons has been one of the best of the competition for nigh on a decade now. Couldn't quite measure that one, as he has so many others. It's a really loose ball from Brandon Vela. Who will grasp the initiative in this game? I feel like APIA are edging towards it, but really love to snatch something significant off their opponents in the early stages of this one. Hilton high into the air. Kasalovic misjudging it over the top of Jesic. Sekenis' layoff had a little bit too much power on it for Franco Maia. He's trying to roll his way out of trouble, which he did beautifully. Kelly again with Sekenis alongside him. It's almost like he's doing a man-marking job on him, Throden Kelly. Daniel. Good challenge from Farinella. Timed it well. Stands there with a delicate touch, and then Jesic sliding to win it for Marconi. Just being first to a lot of those 50-50s. They're going to make sure they're not caught out of position in periods of play like that, passages of play, because Jack Stewart is looking to break in behind. Sekenis again held up by Kelly. Now Kambayashi. He's looking for players ahead of him. Just decides to dance past Julian Monge. Good challenge from Costanzo. All being turned over in midfield quite often, and Sekenis is in a foot race with Kalatz and Flotman. Goalkeeper's clearance wasn't the best. Jesic's touch took him too wide to take a shot. Now he's face to face with young Maxim Kasalovic. He's got the better of him. Kelly's clearance has gone very high. It's awkward for Kalatz, who had to punch it up in the air again, and finally Kelly gets it somewhat out of danger. Awkward little passage there for APIA's backline. Bayless sliding in with Fabian Monge. Players diving everywhere, and now there's numbers for APIA if they play it right. And Fabian Monge not able to find the run of Jack Stewart. Miscommunication between Flotman and Kasalovic. It's all just gone from very controlled and measured to wild and woolly from both teams. Sekenis trying to pounce on the moment. Well challenged. Dispossessed by Sean Simmons. Complexion of this game in the last 5 minutes has done a complete 180. Denmead. Lovely switch for Stewart. He's been on the periphery of this game, trying to make his way right to the centre of it. Very sharp save from Hilton. Finally, Jack Stewart getting in a shooting area. And the Marconi goalkeeper makes the first big save of the day. A couple of times APIA have broken into space like that. Marconi throwing a couple too many forward. And particularly after Denmead had hit that switch, pitch just seemed to open up for the visitors. Sean Simmons over to swing this one in towards Hilton. We saw Kambayashi put lots of pressure on him from the other side. Simmons trying to get a better angle and nearly beat Hilton at his near post. Again, a pink flash across the face of Marconi's goal to bail them out. Well, he's one of the favourites for goalkeeper of the year. James Hilton, if not the favourite. You see why just in the last couple of minutes. Marconi, despite their downturn in form over the past couple of games, still boasts the stingiest defence in the competition. Just 23 goals conceded across their 25 games this year. Funnily enough, it's Oliver Kalatz who took out goalkeeper of the year honours for Sydney United last year in the opposite goal today. Costanzo twisting and turning, finding a way past Jordan. Lovely touch from Dominic Costanzo. He's got inside Kasalovic. Lays it off for Jesic. It might fall for Bernie. Oh, what a strike from the Marconi fullback. It crosses the line and gives the Stallions a stunning lead. And not from a regular source. It's his first goal in league football for the Stallions. What a way to get it. Stinging drive, which could not have been hand placed in a better position. Charlatz did everything he could, but even he couldn't get a fingertip to it. Such was the purity of the hit from TJ Birney. Marconi fans have voice a quarter of the way into this one. Goal created by the touch from Tom Costanzo. There's been some questionable defending from APIA at times during the year, and quite how they let that ball, or that move, develop so sweetly. There's a question to be answered. Kasalovic had very little support inside him. The Marconi numbers just seem to grow and grow. Even when the pass for Jesic didn't find him, Birney was just able to stride onto it unchallenged. Gorgeous goal to get the scoring started here in Bosley Park. Vella stepping in. APIA trying to respond very quickly as Maya stretches to keep the ball in play, eventually trickles behind for an APIA Leichhardt corner. So how do they respond? Been part of plenty of topsy-turvy fixtures across the course of the year. But Spirit FC will be looking on, perhaps watching on via the Football New South Wales YouTube channel as you are this afternoon, and be very, very happy with what they're seeing, both in the race to catch them, but Marconi have got more ground to make up than APIA. Kambiashi trying to turn the tide, and those two saves from Hilton earlier in the first half might come back and be very, very important. Now, that ball, as it was punched away again by Hilton, had actually gone out of play before Kambiashi touched it, so it's an APIA Leichhardt throw-in. Strange sequence of events. It looked as though the Japanese midfielder come fullback today didn't even realise that he was so close to the touchline. Anyway, I'll be able to take the throw right on the 25-minute mark, looking for an answer. Simmons. Jordan. Away from Bayless and returning the ball to Kasalovic. Farinella's there! It's 1-1! APIA striking back sweetly and swiftly through Franco Farinella. And Kasalovic, who got turned inside for Marconi's opener, has created APIA's equaliser. Well, we were expecting topsy-turvy fare, and that is exactly what we're getting in the early stages of the Derby d'Italia. Attack versus defence, the competition's highest scoring team against its stingiest defence, and it's the attacking side of the ball for both that is winning out in the early stages. Costanzo trying to buy a free kick. It wasn't bought by Stephen Lucas. Tells him to return to his feet. And APIA are finding their flow now. Farinella full of confidence, but he's placing that ball for Simmons. Marconi's record at home this season has been somewhat of a study for teams watching them. Been far better away from home than they have been on their own turf this season. And turning the ball over in midfield, Denmead is turned Mutakunas inside out, and Hilton saves the day. Brilliant goalkeeping. Fantastic football all around. First from Denmead, and then beautifully smothered by Hilton. Tas Mutakunas had looked to have dealt with a threat, and then suddenly the slip came. Thankfully, Marconi's goalkeeper was there. He's got his hero's cape on this afternoon, James Hilton. Already 3 big saves he's had to make. Looked as though it had really put Marconi in the box seat when Tyrone Burney gave them the lead. Only for Franco Farinella to answer 5 minutes later. Denmead enjoying this rare start. Presley Ortiz given the afternoon, well, at least off the bench. This is Alex Denmead's 58th league appearance for APIA Leichhardt. It's just his 9th start. Scored 11 goals across those appearances. Has been a good return. One of the best bench options in the competition over the last 3 seasons as Jordan tries to duck between blue shirts. Marconi, after taking the lead, have faced a barrage of pressure from today's opponents. Game that was very cagey in the opening 15 minutes has gone end to end for about 10. Now it's just returned to a state of calm after both teams have blown the cobwebs out and got themselves on the score sheet. Here's Flotman. Combines good ball playing ability with his defensive duties. Not the best clearance. Farinella! Another wonderful save from Hilton. He is having some afternoon. He's had some half hour. And Franco Farinella must have thought he was odds on to add a second there when he struck it. It was struck as sweetly as Burney's. Takes a high five from Fabian Monge. The fingertips of James Hilton, the only thing denying APIA Leichhardt a lead on the half-hour mark. Kambiashi trying to change that with the corner. Again, Hilton diving out of his goal. Jordan. Kasalovic. Simmons turning. Jordan darting inside. Key touch from Jesic, but Marconi really have given up the impetus in the last 15 minutes. Really since taking the lead. Monge's ball. Beautifully weighted for Kambiashi. And the ball's just gone over the byline. The flag almost helped up by the appeal of James Hilton. Hayden Kay is the assistant on the near side today. Beautifully positioned. Spotting the ball had passed out over the byline. A rhyme and a rhythm starting to develop in this one. It's taken half an hour, but starting to get some sort of consistent storyline to pull at through the heart of this game. Marconi are trying to change that script again. 15 minutes to go in what has been a very enjoyable first half. Said earlier when Marconi took the lead, Spirit would be happy enough with that, be even happier with this result. They can limit each other to just a solitary point. That would be the best thing for the league leaders. As neutrals, we want a title race all the way to the final day, don't we? George Daniel just overrunning the ball. You don't see him do that too often. Of course, it's been 2 weeks off for him. So missing out on that Spirit game through suspension. Jordan. Not through the wall of Burney and Bayliss. But had come together. Vela happy just to clear his lines. Kasalovic. APIA looking for their first win in league football against Marconi since their last visit here back in round 5 of the 2024 season. Bayliss just left a foot in on Kasalovic there, right in front of Franco Parisi. Sloppy touch from Fabian Monge. It's been part of the last 2 campaigns in the A-League Men's with Melbourne victory, including their run to the grand final, although he wasn't in the squad for the loss to Melbourne City. It's time for a return back home to APIA. Kenneth just with a yell of frustration as that ball was played towards him. And how about the feet from Drayden Kelly, combining some silk with the steel. Monge just sneaking that one under the boot of Maya. Lovely touch from Jordan. Denmead's onside here. Despite the appeals from some of the Marconi players, he continues his run, Alex Denmead. Marconi finally getting numbers behind the ball. Monge again. Jordan with a little bit too much on it for Alex Denmead that time. Reminder as well that, as you have been able to do all season, you can find highlights, match reports for each and every one of the NPL New South Wales men's games over the course of 2025. Be with you all the way to the grand final at the end of September. Search NPL NSW on Twitter or X, as well as Instagram, and NPL New South Wales on Facebook. Get all our great coverage over the course of the weekend. This is the match of the round. Round 27, so you can find behind the scenes pictures and video of the day with Jude Dolan on the Instagram page across the afternoon. Damien Sekenis has nicked the ball off Kelly in midfield, and the ball's over the top for Costanzo, who's got time, took a touch, gave Kelly the opportunity to get back in possession, which he did very well. So creating the first. Costanzo's just got the bit between his teeth today, doesn't he? Damien Sekenis, such a hard worker above everything else. Talent is well known, but the amount of running he gets through for a forward player is quite remarkable. Monge for George Daniel. Gets a return from Costanzo, asking a lot of Farinello, who couldn't get back. Flotman did include the danger. Daniel again. Giving Saya Kambiashi a taste of his own medicine with the little dummy there. Costanzo's going right at the Japanese defender as well. Flotman up rather than out. And Daniel, it was always going to be difficult, given the fact he was backpedaling to get himself in position. Rather than concede the goal kick, Don Costanzo just thumps the ball clear, knowing he was in an offside position. Seen a couple of funny little moments like that across the course of the afternoon. Kambiashi on about 10 or 15 minutes, walking the ball out of play without touching it, and winning his side a throw in without recognising what he's done. Farinella linking up beautifully with Fabian Monge. Tracked well by Bayliss, so Stewart takes it inside. He can hit him with his left foot as well. He lays it off for Jordan. APIA take the lead. The crowd told the story. Another heart-in-mouth moment for the Marconi defence. This time Hilton didn't have to produce his heroics. Dived away to his left, but saw the ball passing over his crossbar. It's the best chance that APIA have created in the last 10 minutes. Rory Jordan was just a yard or two away from putting that ball on target. Flotman and Sekenis getting into a wrestling match there underneath the high ball, and Maya has nicked the ball off Sean Simmons in another dangerous area. Kelly over in cover, and the decision is corner. So much talent in this Marconi front line, it only takes a moment. There's a couple of times they've just managed to dispossess APIA players in very dangerous areas. Means they're just creating enough to give the APIA Leichhardt defence headaches. We know they haven't been the strongest defending set pieces. No, it has improved since the start of the year, where they seem to be copping one every week. And it's a dangerous ball again. Must be finished off. Lashed home by Julian Monge. Well, it's a day of scrapbook scorers for Marconi. An emphatic finish from young Julian Monge, who rewards Sekenis's faith in him by giving him the start today. Right place, right time, and Marconi have their lead back. Just his third start of the season, Julian Monge. What a big moment for him. Been such a game contributor for them when called upon this season. And he gets his big moment in the Derby d'Italia. Goal coming against the run of play, but we said just before the corner, Marconi had been creating enough to put pressure on what has been a creaky APIA backline at different times across the season. It has proved itself so again. And again they win the ball back through Meyer in midfield, and Sekenis goes down under the challenge of Flotman. Another Stallions free kick. And Damien Sekenis is getting rather fed up with some of the treatment he's getting from the APIA backline. It's reaped rewards for his side though. Stayed down after Monge's finish, didn't join the celebration because he was feeling a bit battered and bruised. Stephen Lucas's patience is running out. He's called Rory Jordan away. He's never one who's afraid of letting referees know exactly what he thinks. Done well to control this game just with his personality to this point, Stephen Lucas, rather than bringing out any of his cards. I know players and coaches tend to prefer. That's of course unless they're on the receiving end of some heavy treatment. I think Marconi can argue there have been at times this afternoon. They've been rewarded often enough. They've got another chance to give themselves a 2-goal advantage. It's turning into a high-scoring afternoon. That's fairly simple work for Kalatz at the end of everything. Maya bending it towards him, but without real venom. So APIA have to find another answer. Played some classics this year. Heart rate of Franco Parisi has been as high as ever in 2025. This team are taking him on another roller coaster ride today. Sun beginning to set behind Marconi Stadium. You're getting a stiff breeze from left to right. You just saw that ball hold up in the wind as it reached Sekenis. Actually put him in front position to receive it. Julian Monge has nicked it. Or Fabian, I should say, has nicked it back off him. And now there's green grass for Jack Stewart to run into. George Daniel hot in pursuit. Now facing up to the APIA right winger. Just a bit too deep for Denmead. And Tyrone Burney, who got the goal scoring started this afternoon. Clever enough to win his side's free kick, a throw in rather. Current game this afternoon between Rockdale Illingdon and the Central Coast Mariners down at the Illingdon Sports Centre has reached half-time without a goal. Rockdale, quite remarkably, haven't scored in more than 2 hours of football. Sekenis again coming together with Flotman as Drayden Kelly cleared his lines. Just throw himself about David Sekenis, but he has been helped over a few times this afternoon as Kisalovic goes right through the back of Franco Maya. It's the Uruguayan who's down. Now there are some calls you're going to hear coming from the Marconi bench for the yellow card to start coming out. Still yet to see one. 3 minutes to go until half-time. In fouls like that, it's just little late jumps into one another and tackles that just come half a second too late. Look at that ball hold up. Flopman read it better than Jesic. Got the free kick as well. Lovely touch from Stewart, which put Cambiashi in a position to chase that ball down. He wasn't able to. Murder-Kudus swinging it out of play. So Tyrone Burney opening the scoring here. Sweet drive. Right up in the back of the net. He joins on the score sheet for the first time this league season by Julian Monge as well. Those two Marconi goals either side of the equaliser from Franco Farinella. Well, it's been a very watchable game of football. It was a slow opening 10 or 15 minutes, but since then it's been all action. Two teams really trying to outthink and outwit one another. And there's been a few little physical scraps like that at different times as well. Jordan not able to find Sean Simmons with the stretching pass. Only taking his time over the throw. Marconi will be happy for the sanctuary of the dressing room. Gave up the impetus after their opener, but then have managed to score their second against the run of play and take the lead back. Fascinating chapter in this old rivalry being written right in front of us. Cambiashi. Kasalovic for Flopman. He's going to take the space afforded to him by Sekenis, who did well to get over and shut down the danger eventually. Kelly. Stepping past Costanzo. In for Farinella. That's a gorgeous ball for Denmead. Must finish this time. He's done it. Lobs it over James Hilton. And we're going to go to half-time all square. 4 fabulous goals. And Alex Denmead has his on a rare start. Played in by a gorgeous pass. And a very well-taken finish over the unrushing James Hilton, who's had a fine first half himself. He's still been beaten twice, though. And so APIA, despite trailing twice in this first half, are going to go down the sheds all square, unless there's more late drama here. So there may well be. 2 minutes to be added on. I don't know that either coach will be particularly happy with certain sequences of play they've seen from their teams. The message might be we're back where we started. Time for a fresh focus and application come the second half. Getting another classic here at the Palace. Just 3 weekend rounds to go after this game, which has so much meaning. We are no closer to knowing the winner. Goes Marconi's way. Don't know what Alex Denmead was doing there, playing it back away from where the throw needed to be taken. Bernie's just taking his time over it again. And Stephen Lucas says, back you go. The sun has come out and we have had some sort of entertainment. If the weather scared anybody away, I'm glad to have your company out here at Marconi Stadium, but you are missing out. What a fun afternoon it's been so far. Jeopardy, some terrific football, some stunning strikes from both teams. Marconi have taken the lead twice. Their first goal coming through an arrow from outside the box. Tyrone Burney's first league goal in Marconi colours. Equaliser came from Franco Farinella, an equally beautifully crafted move from APIA. Then the set piece led to Marconi's second, which was volleyed home by Julian Monch, his first goal for Marconi in league football this season, before Alex Denmead levelled the scores in stoppage time of the first half. My name's Alex Molchanoff. It's been a pleasure to bring you the first half of this game. Do not go anywhere. 45 minutes to sort out a winner between second and third on the NPL New South Wales men's table. At the break, it's Marconi Stallions 2, APIA Leichhardt 2. welcome back to Marconi Stadium. The second half about to get underway here between the Stallions and APIA Leichhardt. What a cracking first half we had. 4 brilliant goals. Twice Marconi led, twice they were pegged back by their visitors. An instant classic of a Derby d'Italia brewing here in the southwest. APIA's first visit here in more than a year. They've played 4 times between their last visit and this clash. Winners here in the 91st minute, back in round 5 of 2024, and searching for a second premiership in 3 years. Take a big step towards it if they can come away with all 3 points. James Hilton's contribution in the first half, despite conceding 2 goals, has to be noted as well. 2 or 3 superb saves. From long distance, a one-on-one smother from Alex Denmead before he eventually did get the better of Marconi's shot stopper right in the shadows of half-time. But there's been plenty to keep you enthralled here in Bosley Park on this Super Sunday of football in Sydney's southwest. Australia Cup action just down the road from here in the league. This game is tossing up another beauty. Don't play bad ones, these two. Derby got the chocolates by 3 goals to 2. Back in round 7 at Lambert Park. Oh, round 7 of the Australia Cup, I should say. Marconi got the win in the league thanks to a goal from Jake True and an own goal from the now departed Anthony Sparacino. There's a real coming together between Jesic and Kalats, and Kasalovic is trying to be the meat in the sandwich. Stephen Lucas is watching on like a headmaster at some naughty school children. He's asking what on earth is going on there. Just waiting for the 3 of them to sort it all out. On goes the tussle. Seems happy enough with it for the moment. So we might get a whistle sooner rather than later. Still going on in the 6-yard box. Finally, Costanzo delivers, and it's over everybody's head and out of play. Much ado about nothing. What a strange sequence. Even Stephen Lucas having a bit of a chuckle with Maxim Kasalovic as he made his way out of goal. Marko Jesic's not smiling. Wants his team back in contention. They've only lost back-to-back games once this season, Marconi. It's coming into this fixture. Don't want to lose a 3rd in a row. And Stephen Lucas is right at the centre of things again. This time the ball striking him. It'll be a drop ball in favour of James Bayliss and Marconi. Get things underway. Stop-start to the second half. Bit like it was in the first. See, that wind is still its presence known as Kambiashi tried to clear the ball, and this time Kelly going straight through it, right out of play. No changes made by either side at half-time. We'll bring you just who both coaches have available to them in just a moment. Get that stoppage in play. We'll do it right now. Kasalovic down under the challenge of Sekenes. For the Stallions, Jake True was a hero in the return fixture. He's available, as is Kyle Chimenti. Still in, they had the 1 start all year. Been a regular off the bench though. Liam Yulee is there, Mate Busek, and Sebastian Kicic as the lone defensive option. Patrick Williams, the backup goalkeeper again today. James Hilton has not missed a minute of football for the Stallions this season. For APIA Leichhardt, Presley Ortiz is there, their top scorer this season. Adrian Uccino, who's finding himself a lot more often on the bench now for Franco Parisi. Age 33. Eddie Kaspers is there, Nick Azone. Cameron Fong, should they look to move, say, a Kambiashi further forward, chasing all 3 points. Their backup goalkeeper, Alex Parks. Kalats forced to clear his lines over the top of Costanzo. Denmead gave a bit of the meat in the sandwich, and Myers managed to play in Sekenes after the turnover. Slipped as he hit it. Might have struck Drayden Kelly on the way through as well. Another sloppy touch from Fabian Monch this time, and Bayliss can look to Lob it out to the left, too much on it for Costanzo though. A couple of opportunities laid to waste by Marconi over the course of 60 seconds. APIA continuing to play themselves into trouble. They were so imperious on the ball. That game against Melbourne City a couple of weeks, or a week and a half ago. Quite as clinical against Manly United at home last weekend. But just do have these little lapses in games at times, APIA. No doubt one of the favourites for the Premiership again this year. Got to keep their concentration. Simmons keeps the ball in play. Beautifully judged bit of distribution from Kalats, and Murtakutis timing his intervention to perfection this time. Kelly looking up for APIA. Monge again, just erring on the football, and Bayliss is there. Kelly has bailed them out again. Goodness me. I think I've seen Fabian Monge turn the ball over more today than I have since his return to APIA. James Bayliss is making a real point of not allowing APIA's midfield maestro to turn on the football. This time he doesn't do that, he just lays it off for Kelly. Denmead with Murtakutis in his back, and he just wrangles him to the turf. Still he managed to keep hold of the ball, Alex Denmead. How about the strength on show there, and then plays it out after taking the advantage. It's been a 5 minutes or so of nearly moments for both teams. Kelly goes through Sekenis, won it fairly. Still it ends up with Franco Maya. Sekenis who returned to his feet, not able to chase that ball down. Reminder, a win for APIA today takes them level on points with Spirit up the top of the table. Win for Marconi takes them level on points with APIA with a game in hand. Going to be played on Wednesday nights here against the Central Coast Mariners, currently sitting bottom. Patrick Flotman just offering a hand in apology after lobbing the ball into Hayden Kay. Had his back turned. Delayed the restart just a moment. I've had a couple of moments of curiosities like that today. There's been nothing routine about this game whatsoever. Monge. Sekenis trying to bully his way through. Flotman wasn't about to let that happen. Releases Jordan. Murtakutis, the last man back, and judged the long ball well. Brandon Vella's been a sturdy presence in the heart of Marconi's defence. Actually gone around him most of their chances. Another win in midfield for Marconi. This is when they're at their best, and Damien Sekenis has got a chance, trying to bring it back inside Flotman. Between he and Kelly, they sort it out. Marconi's press pays again. APIA have turned over another ball through midfield. Must end up in a chance at least. Kalats beats away Maya's strike. They cannot get out of their own half, APIA. Bernie for Maya. This is the Marconi we were seeing at the start of the season. Pressing, playing football on the front foot. Led by their defensive pressure and then finished off by their attacking talents. Seeing the first half of it here at the very beginning of the second stanza. It's the type of football we haven't seen from them consistently enough over the last month. This will impress Peter Sekenis somewhat. He'd love a payoff on the scoreboard sooner rather than later, because we know the threat that APIA carry down the other end. There's only so much James Hilton can be called on to do, although he hasn't been the busier of the two goalkeepers in the second half here. I've seen APIA try and find Sean Simmons from all these goal kicks. Kalats didn't quite judge that one as he would have liked. So Marconi can come with another raid. Bayliss. Fella searching for Sekenis. When he put him in front position, Kelly knocking him off his feet. No foul, says Stephen Lucas. Another talking point at the start of this second half. Sekenis feeling aggrieved. Franco Farinella having words with those behind him. The 21-year-old just wants the ball. Haven't been able to feed him whatsoever in the last 5 minutes. He got the first of APIA's 2 equalisers in the first half. Beautifully worked move. Myers switch for Costanzo. Another passage of play at Marconi love when they're really in full flow. Costanzo's ball was cut off by Kambiashi. Myers over, showing the energy of his early season. Then turning it over to the Japanese player. Seiya Kambiashi. Nice little flicking behind from Denmead for Stewart. He's all alone up there, though, the APIA right winger. He's done well to win his side of throw. Well, Kambiashi involved in play higher up the pitch in these sort of situations. Wonge plays it into Julian. Those two coming together again. Kambiashi down the right. Fed by Stewart, one back by by Fabian Monge rather. Well, there's a chance for Stewart again. He's got past Julian, and Daniel just getting a foot in. And then Costanzo commanding in his win of the football, but concedes the throw. Cannot take your eyes off this. Costanzo lashing it away, giving himself a moment to redo his shoelace. As much as it was to clear the danger. Really could not predict what is going to happen next here. Could finish 2-2, could not have another shot or goal, or it could finish 5-4. It's been that sort of afternoon. Farinella. Jordan. Dancing between defenders, and it fell for Denmead! Another save from Hilton. Brave piece of goalkeeping to go with the brilliant anticipation and the reactions. He's had that little characteristic into his arsenal. He's denied Denmead twice now in one-on-one situations. Slightly different that time around. That ball just falling to the APIA Leichhardt striker from close range as Kasalovic sees off the attention of Bayless this time. That's where this game is going to be won and lost. Can APIA control possession in this area of the pitch? Can they play through Marconi's press? Kasalovic able to avoid having it nicked off him, but with too much on it for Sean Simmons. You do wonder if Adrian Uchino is set to be called on here. Seems the sort of game that would suit his abilities. Making his way back over to the bench. Always seems in a jovial mood, but won't find too many more competitive than the APIA Leichhardt skipper. Sekenis, who is really beginning to get frustrated. Have to feel some sort of empathy for it. Barely touched Patrick Flopman there, and has been getting hammered from pillory to post all afternoon. And APIA might get just rewards from this passage of play. Bernie clears, Kasalovic, Monge, Kambiashi for Jack Stewart. Awkward one for Murdakutis, dealt with it well, and Costanzo, not for the first time in this second half, launches it down the other end. Sekenis left to do the heavy lifting, trying to chase APIA down. Managed to restore an air of calm to their play, the visitors, after a frantic start to this second half. Stewart's under pressure from Daniel, couldn't find anyone in Marone. So Murdakutis can try and launch another counter-attack. Kelly reading the long ball. Kambiashi's back heel was blind. And Bayless is striding into green grass. He's got a couple of bodies inside him. Might try to do it himself. Lobs it up for Sikenis. What a save from Kalat! Or is it a goal? It's over the line, says Hayden Kay. Well, there'll be controversy about that as well because Kalat thought he'd done enough. But Damien Sikenis has his 8th of the year and Marconi have the lead for the 3rd time this afternoon. Again, it comes on the counter. Again, it's brilliant from Bayless. And Sikenis is finally rewarded for all his hard work this afternoon. He finally stole the yard, and there was just enough on the header to beat Kalat. The replay will tell the story. It looked live like it had just crossed the line. And so APIA are going to have to come from behind for a 3rd time. Kasalovic's afternoon is over. Monge sitting as though he's going to be the deepest of the 3 midfielders. And Eddie Kaspers up alongside Franco Farinella. The first change of the afternoon for either side. Comes with half an hour to play. Game with so much on the line, and both teams have gone forward with reckless abandon at times. It has brought us a thrilling game of football. This competition is delivering again. It's 2 of its old stages. 2 of the most historic clubs in New South Wales, writing a thrilling chapter in their long and storied scrapbook. Lovely touch from Julian Monge, who's had a day to remember, as has Fabian, who steals in to get APIA going forward. Farinella falls under the challenge of Bayless. No free kick. Sikenis taken out by Kelly. Bullied his way past Murder-Kudus as well and got the free kick off the scorer of today's 5th goal. Cameron Fong looks as though he's getting ready as well. I wonder whether Saya Kambiashi is about to be sent further forward. Keep an eye on that. Simmons for Jordan. Goes down under the challenge of Bernie. And the throw-in goes Marconi's way. And both sets of players are upset with the officials. He'd be a referee. Seen it all, Stephen Lucas, over a long career that's included A-League football. And now Damien Sikenis is down with a shout, and he's not one who goes down without cause. Like just an awkward little twist, and I hope this is not serious because he just had such a superb moment. Scoring the odd goal in 5. Thankfully it looks just a knock and a jolt, rather than anything more serious, although he's looking rather ginger, and he's looking rather worryingly over to the touchline. Double change being readied by Peter Sikenis in any case. There's plenty of cover in the attacking areas, and I don't think Damien Sikenis is going to be able to continue here. Tried to walk it off. In the meantime, Tom Costanzo's afternoon ends. Played a hand. The goals before half-time. Jake True is his replacement. Scorer in the earlier league fixture this year between these two. Such a disappointing end to such a terrific afternoon for Damien Sikenis. His goal is the one that's given Marconi their latest lead, helped off by Stephen Lucas. He will be replaced by Geordie Swivel. Lord back from Canada, who was with Valor FC, actually playing over there with Murder-Kudus for a time. That same club, and there's an attacking change from APIA as well. We just told you about Eddie Kaspers. Presley Ortiz has taken the place of Alex Denmead. Cameron Fong is on at right full back. which means that Rory Jordan has come off at this near side as well. So Kamiyashi's moved to the left, Fong at right fullback. So it's a fresh attacking lineup for both teams in the dying stages of this one. True looks as though he's furthest forward. In fact, it's not Geordie Swivel, it's Mate Busek. Apologies for that. He's made his way on. So True furthest forward now, taking the place of Sekenes. Busek out on the left in place of Dom Costanzo. So Marconi look to see out this game. Winning by 3-2. Sekenes' goal coming just a few minutes before looks at another injury concern. Let's hope it's not too serious. He's making his way back around to the Marconi dugout under his own steam, which is a good sign. Still feel as though this game's got a twist in the tail. Drayden Kelly skips away from Marko Jesic. Stewart allowed to turn inside, which he loves to do. Kudus brings an end to his little adventure. He's had a much improved second half. Tasmota Kudus been back to his sturdy self after a couple of little hiccups in the first half. First touch for Eddie Casper's not what he was looking for. Been around for so long now, Eddie Casper's. Always forget how young he still is. Just 21 years of age, kind of a family that are doing so well in football. Sisters Holly and Maddie, both in the A-League women's competition. True nodding that one on, giving Jesic something to chase. Flopman just stumbled for a moment. Kelly's clearance is blocked by True. APIA putting themselves under all sorts of pressure at different times in this second half. Ollie Callett's so disappointed. That goal was awarded because he thought he'd kept it out with what would have been one of the most remarkable saves we've seen in this competition. It was Banks-esque. Only problem was it had already crossed the line. Maya dragged down by Sean Simmons. Whistle's got to work out from Stephen Lucas today. He has not shown a yellow card. Speaks to the manner of the fouls, really. That would have been sort of tic-tac stuff. Just players competing hard for the football. Kambiashi's got space to run into. That's ominous for Marconi. He's looking to link up with Ortiz. His first touch since coming on. He's getting into a shooting position. Or can he release Stewart? It's Jack Stewart! Another good save by Hilton. And if Marconi get all 3 points this afternoon, he will have had no small part in that. Up to 6 or 7 saves across the afternoon by my count. APIA have peppered his goal. He has produced a quite spectacular performance. Stephen Lucas has spotted a foul in Marconi's favour amongst all that. Adrian Uchino, you can see in the orange bib in the background there, is leading the protest. And in fact, he's right. Stephen Lucas had pointed the wrong way. It is an APIA free kick. Fifth official, Adrian Uchino. Only one of the APIA substitutes up on his feet at the moment. Saya Kambiashi to be entrusted with this ball in. Marko Jesic and Drayden Kelly having a coming together. Stephen Lucas says, let's get on with it. Quarter of the game to go. Is there a third equaliser for APIA here? Julian Monge rising highest. Hasn't been as present as he was in the first half, where he got Marconi's second goal. Bernie happy to go up the line, and Butek's flitted out to this right-hand side. And Farinella has won his team the throw. Might have been searching for a free kick, but it didn't come. Patrick Flopman's asking why not. Not the best ball forward. Casper's touch let him down, so did Butek's. Now a chance for Cameron Fong to get forward. Was superb against Melbourne City in the Cup a couple of Wednesdays ago. Maybe a bit of the commentator's curse striking there as he strode forward. Well, never any danger of reaching a Moronazuri player. It's the sky blue of Marconi. It's flying highest at the moment. 20 minutes to see out for a famous victory, to announce themselves again as players in the title race with 4 games to go. Ball finding its way out of play. Seen that from both goalkeepers across the course of the afternoon. Stewart. Challenged by Meyer. He has been back at his brilliant best today. So the same of quite a number of the Marconi squad. This is the early season form that had them looking unbeatable at times. Quite looking at that level today, but it's been a lot closer. Ortiz kept it in play. And he's got Kambiashi alongside him, who held his run, stayed on side, got to the byline, and fed Farinella, who couldn't tap it home. A key touch there, I think, from Julian Monge. Might have been as worthy or as big a moment as his goal in the first half. Hasn't he repaid the faith of Peter Sekenis this afternoon? The 21-year-old has been at his sterling best. Jake True is even back in his own penalty area, so all 11 Marconi players were back in there. Still, Flopman got his head on the ball. There might be a chance to get out on counter-attack now with Franco Maya. He's full of pace, had to turn back towards his own goal. How about the nutmeg? Brilliant skill from Maya. And now Busek, frustrated he couldn't get further forward. True is on side here, and he couldn't judge it for Jesic. I think Farinella might have got a touch on that as it made its way over. Easier to field for Kalats that way. Stewart being followed doggedly into midfield by Daniel. Keen not to give him a moment's peace. Jesic. He and Kelly continuing their battle. This looks as though he's swatting away flies. Drayden Kelly. When attackers get too close to him. When he side the free kick there. Flopman. APIA chasing an equaliser. They're running out of time. They've got to be careful that they're not getting caught in counter-attack. True kept on side here and darting towards goal. They got the wrong side of Flopman. Can he finish? Hit it straight at Kalats. Kelly was still recovering from the initial clearance and hadn't got high up the pitch, which gave True all sorts of space. Ortiz in the channel. He's a willing chaser. Hilton with that ball played back to him at an awkward hike and just booted out of play. Now APIA have a chance to get forward. Simmons. Gorgeous turn from Ortiz. Oh, he's looking for the reverse ball rather than the shot. Jesic and True on different pages. Monge. Fabian, that is. Turned over by Stewart. This is what we were seeing earlier from APIA. Now they've won it back high themselves. Vela stepping in and now striding forwards. He's got this in his locker, Brandon Vela. He's happy to continue and join the attack. Gorgeous ball from Meyer for Jesic. Flopman did enough to get back and take some of the sting out of the strike. That's better from APIA. Caspers. Oh, that was a late one from Monge, who flew in and has stayed down. Advantage play by Stephen Lucas. He's hurt himself in the process there, Julian Monge. Farinella dribbles it over the touchline. Monge went down with a big shout, and I've no doubt there was contact, but fortunately I think it was the youngster who initiated it, which is why the advantage signal was played out. He's managed this game very well, Stephen Lucas. The individual decisions that both coaches will look back on and have hoped to have got. That's the case in every game. It's just been a thoroughly engaging contest between two teams so hungry to lift themselves up the table late in the season. Promise of silverware is still lingering somewhere just over the horizon. And if this result holds, that will be true for both. Bernie. Still a chance, well, still time for a defining moment in this match. It might come from Jake True and Drayden Kelly, clearing the danger just before Drew got to the football. Well, Kalatz actually launched it out. Kelly just got a touch on True before he could get to the ball. Some back and forth about the location of the throw-in. Almost reached us up on the old commentary tower here at Marconi Stadium. Some sort of boot from Kalatz, who didn't exactly get helped out by Kelly there, but took it into his box, and quickness of thought was there eventually. That's a bit of skill from Fong. Taken back by Bayliss. One back again by Fong, who turned it over initially. Just trying to heave the ball forward, and Farinella almost stealing inside Tasmurda Curtis. Not quite able to get there. Long lunging leg to knock the ball clear of danger. Still the difference. Damien Sekenis' header right at the start of this second half. They went into the break locked at 2-2. It's the third lead Marconi have held this afternoon. Caspers. Simmons. Trying to link up with Ortiz, couldn't win it back, and there was an arm out there. Simmons will argue his case, but if they had gone on to score their APIA, would have had to be pulled back. The attacking player, of course, under the new laws from FIFA, intent doesn't matter. Strikes the arm, it's a foul. And in any case, Stephen Lucas making the point, Sean Simmons' arms were a fair way from being in a natural position there. Kelly, the dominant force in APIA's backline. But his performance may not be enough. Commanding win from Julian Monge. Is that going to be his last piece of action? Just been a little ginger since getting back to his feet from that challenge, and so Liam Yuli's going to take his place. But a fine moment, a day to remember for Julian Monge, who rightfully takes his applause from the Marconi faithful here. His goal, which gave them a 2-1 lead. 7 minutes shy of half-time before APIA did manage to get that second equaliser, and Liam Yuli is brought on. Meyer, too strong for Caspers. Caspers made his way back. They both fell to the turf in a heap. He's a pest to play against, isn't he, Jake True? He's just giving Drayden Kelly and Patrick Flotman an extra headache as they're trying to play out. Stewart's trying to do it all himself. Switches it out to the left. The old link up with Cambiachi. It's been such a threat for APIA all year. Simmons. Caspers strong enough to hold off Vella. The double team from Tyrone Burney worked out. He opened the scoring. That seems a long time ago, early in the first half. True's got front position on Kelly this time, who just shoulders him off the ball. The strength of APIA's Canadian import on full display there. It was all fair. True doesn't agree. Knew exactly what was going to happen. Kambayashi goes route one, and Sean Simmons is on the end of it, trying to dance past Burney, and he was offside. Moments like that going Marconi's way. This is the form of champions. Which of course they are from a year ago. One last regroup between the attacking players. Meyer and Jesic and True, Busak. 10 minutes to go. Their job should be done. Two more changes for APIA. The heart and soul. Adrian Uchino joins the fray along with Nick Arzone. Not a play we've seen too much of this season whatsoever. Returning from injury. Just another nice little piece for Franco Parisi to get back this afternoon. Ortiz. Bayless step in, trying to get away from him. Oh, another clean nutmeg. That's 2 or 3 of them we've seen this afternoon. Liam Yuli ended his run illegally. And now APIA need to take it from the right spot. Stephen Lucas was happy enough with that. A first touch for Arzone. The experienced heads coming together in the center of APIA's midfield. Now the youngsters getting involved with Fong and Ortiz. Fong on it now, returns it to Ortiz. Ran into Yuli. Yes, it's backing in and managing to sneak the ball forward. Uchino keeps the pressure on. Finding Simmons. Inside for Caspers, who's got space. And he's looking for a return ball, which he overhit for Sean Simmons, who's got through so much work again today. As fit as ever. At 32. True with no one near him, although his control let him down. See the ball playing ability of Adrian Uchino, as if that was ever in question. Busak. APIA have just let their foot off the gas a little in chasing this game over the last 10 minutes or so. James Hilton has been a bystander in the second half. APIA had the better of a lot of general play in the first half, but only went to the break level after allowing Marconi to take the lead, and chasing the game for so long this afternoon seems to have just taken it out of them somewhat. A team that's had so many miles in the legs against the fresh Stallions, who've had a couple of weeks off with the help of the rain out against the Mariners. It's going to come back at them in the form of that midweek game. But the win here is so valuable to them. Should they be able to hold on? About 7 minutes to play. Uchino. So many late moments across the course of this season. Both the men's and women's competitions. Wouldn't put it past either side to find another late one here. Jesic taking his time. This is where Marconi are so good at managing their way to victories. Been back at their best today. Now just looking to see out the victory. Burney patient. Right onto the head of True. Nice touch from Caspers, who's escaped the grasp of Yuli. There's numbers here in a good area for APIA Leichhardt. Arzone just leaving it a little short for Presley Ortiz. Maya. Spinning out of danger, asking for support. It comes through Daniel. Second touch turned into a tackle, and Fong won that and won the throw as well. And frustration seeping through Franco Maia, who's hit the turf. Thumped it down there as well. This is going to take a few more seconds off the clock, but I don't think there's too much contrived about this. Actually be a little bit of cramp seeping into Franco Maia there. Right calf just grabbing. Never a pleasant experience for a player. Yuli's just been throwing himself about since coming on. Kasper's somehow slipped out of that little cul-de-sac that he'd wandered into. Kasper's trying to back heel in mid-air. Not sure that was the advisable option. Maia, just seen him go down with a little bit of cramp, so he stops and turns and finds Yuli. Diving header from Fong. Good piece of defensive work. I'll tell you what, there's probably been more turnovers from both sides than the two coaches would have liked today. Marconi, they won't care if they can hang on. If you told me at the start of the day 3-2 had got one of these sides a victory, I'd probably have told you it was APIA that had got it. Marconi have taken every opportunity that has come their way today. With Chino and Jesic coming together, and APIA rather frustrated that the free kick was given. Big cry from Marco Jesic as he hit the turf. Exchanging words with Kaspers, who was not the one who put in the tackle. Ultimate competitor, Marco Jesic, stalking across Marconi Stadium. It is his turf, it is his palace. Hasn't got his name on the score sheet today, but he has led Marconi as well as ever to try and celebrate the 250th game in charge of Peter Sekenes. Marconi at 3.5 minutes from giving him 3 points as a present. And he's up at the edge of his technical area now, Seka. Kasper's just a moment's lost concentration, and it is costing APIA. They've added up those moments over the course of the afternoon. Well, that's a vicious tackle from Jesic, and Stephen Lucas straight on the spot to show the booking, and Sean Simmons is less than impressed. He ran a good 30 or 40 yards to get involved there, APIA's skipper, and he's shown a booking in return. Much to the delight of the Marconi Stadium supporters, or the Marconi Stallions supporters at Marconi Stadium. That was a naughty challenge from Marco Jesic. And still he and Sean Simmons are trading words. And it's actually Franco Maia guiding his skipper away. Still they're going at it as they get in position for this free kick from Adrian Uchino. APIA not going with anything too clever here. He'll just be launching it into the area by the looks of things. Flotman is forward, as is Kelly. Offer plenty of threat here. And Flotman and True are really going at it. It might reach Patrick Flotman in any case. Headed it towards goal, but it wasn't on target. And Hilton hung on just to make sure. This game has been played in a really good spirit for most of the afternoon. It's really livened up in the closing minutes. Challengers have just upped a level in their intensity. With Chino. Yuli's been right at the heart of all that. He won the ball fairly that time, and the free kick's gone APIA's way. You can hear what the Marconi supporters thought of that. You can see what Peter Sekenes thinks of it. Stephen Lucas just asking Jesic to get his team under control. in these closing moments. Under a minute of regular time to go. I think we're going to get a fair bit of stoppage time, though. Kaspers is there. Hilton's missed it. And Vela clears at the last moment. Tasmurda has stayed down. Bernie clears the danger for now. Flopman commanding in the air. Kaspers and Bayliss together. Uchino. Azone. It fell for him nicely. Kambiashi. So often the difference maker. Kaspers was looking for his moment. Jesic nicked it off his toe. It's just woken up APIA, but Stewart's turned it over. And Daniel's away down the left. Crowd getting involved as well now. True, taking it to the corner. Nicked off him by Kelly. Fairly, said the referee, but the throw-in's gone Marconi's way, and they will take their time. Kennis coming with his finishing move. Only 3 minutes to be added on at the end of all of this. Might have a fourth right now because Franco Maya is not going to be able to continue. Final change of the afternoon for Peter Sekeres. Carl Chimenti making another substitutes appearance today. Still only got the one goal this season. It was all the way back in round 3 against Rockdale. Won them the match. He put the cherry on top of a superb performance tonight. True. With Fong in his back. Throwing goes Marconi's way. Chino stealing in. True was keen not to let him clear and won it fairly. Oh, gorgeous bit of skill from Daniel. Eventually nicked off him. But Chino's got to go forwards. APIA are almost out of time. Might be out of troops shortly. Nothing fancy from Hilton now. He's done his job. Been in conversations for player of the match honours given the first half he had. He's added a couple of very good saves in the second as well. Ollie Kalatz hasn't had the worst afternoon either. Still, volume of chances as both goalkeepers been beaten on a number of occasions. Marconi get the decision. A hand stuck in there by Cameron Fong. And it'll be down the wrong end for APIA, with very little time left to play. A win to put them back in the race. A win to put them just 3 back from Spirit. A win to put them level with APIA. This title race looks as though it is going all the way to the final day as True dives in on Fong. APIA might get one last bite of the cherry. Flopman. Lost a bit of Sean Simmons. Did well to keep it in. Takes it inside Bernie. Finds Kaspers. Wide for Kambiashi, who's onside. Despite the appeals of Chimenti. Puccino. Kelly. Audacious. Overly ambitious. Ultimately wasteful for Franco Parisi. Stephen Lucas pointing to his watch. Indicate that this time is being added on. Marconi have only beaten APIA here once since their return from the second division. About to add a second victory. In Peter Sirkenis' 250th game, he wants the final whistle. The Marconi skipper, his team have taken some extra time off the clock in the closing stages here, but they have put in a terrific performance. And they might just have a cherry on top. They've been the kings of this over the course of the season. Jesic, Petrovic, Chimenti, they've got numbers. Busek! A whisker away, but it won't matter. Marconi are back in the Premiership picture. A big win in the Derby d'Italia. They continue their run of league wins against APIA, and they move level with them on points. 2 big midweek games to come. APIA in the Cup against Avondale down in Melbourne. Marconi against the Central Coast Mariners. If it all goes well, they could be level with Spirit on points by the time they face Manly United here next Sunday. Been a pleasure to bring you a topsy-turvy display that had some fire and brimstone in it towards the end. A fine goalkeeping performance from James Hilton. And it's Marconi, the winner, by the odd goal in 5 here at the Palace. Marconi Stallions 3, APIA Leichhardt 2.